3. Lots of 3s here tonight. Week 3, Game 2 as it is Thursday, Monday, and Thursday, those default nights. But we had ZUNI 2.0 grinding out a long Game 1, able to take the victory over Mike Chan Dota. Mike Chan Dota says no in Game 2 and just dominate from the start of the game. The lane's just whining so hard, able to get the Aghanim Scepter up quick on the Warlock, big push items on the Lifestealer, Clockwork as well with a quick Ags, a 12-second hook, and they just punished ZUNI 2.0 as we get into the bans here. And once again, CEVO Season 3, as you'll notice in the client, it is ticketed, so make sure to buy up those tickets, check it out in-game, and if you're in-game, check out the stream at twitch.tv/Play CEVO. Make sure to follow, as tons of CEVO action going to be happening here, and I'll be your host for Dota as we do look for some more casters. But I am Helium. You can follow me on Twitter at HeliumBarella. But let's get into the bans. They don't differentiate that much. Every single game we've seen a Death Prophet, a Pugnant, and a Lich banned out. Not a big surprise. Timbersaw as well, so the same bans as Game 2. Actually, Mike Chan Dota, again, looking to turn up the heat. They pick up that Visage, looking to maybe take a strong, aggressive tri-lane here in Game 3. As Mike Chan Dota undefeated. ZUNI 2.0 has taken 1 loss, and it was against one of the best teams in CEVO-Main right now. That's top 5. But all of these teams, top 5 included, as I've brought up their names, Mike Chan Dota and ZUNI 2.0, definitely going to be the teams you see in those playoffs going pretty far, so we'll be seeing a lot of them again as the Season 3 continues, but it's Visage picked up, ZUNI 2.0, they're going to go with that Crystal Maiden, we'll see what they'll draft up second. Maybe. Well, I see something that disappoints me right now. There was that patch just a little while ago that actually delayed us quite a bit here, as what is it now? It's 11:30 right now. We're usually finished up here. A little earlier than this, but that patch just slowed us down for a little bit, and I see some messages here from some friends of mine, so I'm gonna have to do it here. Raj, shout out to Raj, one of my biggest supporters of my casting career to date, so he definitely gets that shout out here tonight as we launch CEVO TV, and hopefully he's still around to hear it. But anyway, it will be Clockwork picked up second for ZUNI 2.0. So Dave, they're looking to show Dave, like, alright, you played Clockwork pretty well last game, but we're going to show you how it's really done. And we'll see who will do that here. Maybe going to be that hero for Yuka Garuki, or as I like to just call him, Garage there. And I'll just point at him. Oh, actually, I don't have a cursor. There it is. Him. He's probably going to be playing that Clockwork. And then we'll see Mike Chan Dota. They go Visage. They go Marana. And yeah, another hero that would be amazing with that would be, of course, Crystal Maiden, but she's already been picked up. Maybe we see an Earthshaker. Maybe we see basically anyone else with a stun to set up the arrow is pretty nice. The longer the range, the better with a quick nighttime. Venge might not be too bad either. Even Disruptor off the Glimpse. And Disruptor's a hero I think that's very good right now. We'll see if anyone works him in. I wouldn't put my rares on it. As let's see, more bans coming out. Finally, they take out the Viper. It's, yeah, I don't know. It's a really good hero. It's tanky, and if you get those early levels and snowball out of control like Viper did in Game 1, maybe not so much snowballing out of control, but he was getting farm. He was doing well in Game 2. You can see it's very possible to shut him down. He died so much early and was effectively useless for the entire game. Wasn't a lot they could do on ZUNI 2.0. But we're not going to see him here again, so it's going to change up the game a little bit. Viper and Abaddon are going to be the bans out by Mike Chan Dota. And then ZUNI 2.0, they take out the Naga. And now they're looking for one more ban. But that Naga, a really, really good support, was getting insanely popular in 6.78 right before TI3, which I thought was so funny because Naga Siren was the hero of TI2. Everyone saw it and it was like, boo, this is so boring, this sleeps. And then we see Naga picked up in TI3 and people are like, woo, Naga's back, we're happy for some reason, I don't know why. But anyway, she picked up some nerfs in 6.79 with the net, with the Riptide, but they're really not that bad of a nerf. Her sleep, her Song of the Siren, still the same, so she's a great hero, still going to be picked up a lot, and would have been an amazing support to go along with Visage and Marana, so they banned it out here, and I think that's very smart. ZUNI 2.0 now, looking for the 4th ban.
Radiant team pick.
And I see some people, fans of the Jigglebilly, saying they got the Potom, they got that Mirana for Jigglebilly. And just in case anyone is watching here that is newer to Dota, Mirana is called Potom because she is, well, in Dota 1 in the Warcraft Ended, she was the Priestess of the Moon, which is lore in the Night Elves of Warcraft. So they switched it to Princess of the Moon. So she still retains the title Potom, but of course her name has always been Mirana. So yeah, they switched it up to Mirana here in Dota 2. Which is fine, as we do have some more picks coming out. Lifestealer was that ban. They don't want to give that over to Jiggle once again. He had a really dominant performance, picking up some kills and managing to get a crap load of farm early on in that game. It's going to be Earthshaker picked up here, and I think that would have been an amazing hero for Mike Chan Dota. I think that's maybe the hero they wanted, but Earthshaker Crystal Maiden on the Radiant. Very dangerous combo. The last game we cast of Mike Chan Dota in CEVO, which was I think maybe last week, maybe the week before, or at least the game before, as there's 2 a week. Earthshaker Crystal Maiden, they can reroute the creep with the Fisher in the mid lane and then just jungle it up quickly and get up very, very fast levels and even some good farm on Earthshaker and Crystal Maiden. And we'll see if they do that again to help Invoker out. He's going to have a pretty tough time in the mid lane versus that Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain outlanes him, but Invoker is still a little bit better now, gets 2 spells at level 3, so a little bit more kill potential, or at least saying, hey, don't front on me because I've got some spells, I can hold my own, and I might even kill you if you don't execute perfectly. So he's better in that regard, and of course EMP got a buff into the late game, so it does give you a little more of a incentive to go for a Quas Wex build, despite if you don't go Exor early, you really have a hard time getting last hits in the lane and even being present in the lane. But, well, Invoker picked up 4th. One of the most fun heroes to watch in Dota because he has, what is it, like 12 spells? I believe it's 9, actually. If I do the math of Quas, Wex, Exort, 3 of them combined, that would be 9 spells. If you, well, okay, let's count Invoke and those, so that would be 13 spells. But, yeah, really just 9. And yeah, we've got Sand King and Queen of Pain picked up. So Queen of Pain, as I briefly touched on, should have a really nice time reverse that Invoker in the mid lane. Unless Crystal Maiden and Earthshaker are doing this creep rerouting with the Fisher with that extra 100 range, which they very well may be. And Mike Chan Dota was the first team that I really saw utilize that here in CEVO, so they're definitely aware of it, and I wouldn't be surprised if they smoke up early and ward off the Ancients as well as the hard pull camp for the Radiant in the mid lane. Wouldn't surprise me at all if they do that. And let's check out the bans here. We've got Luna and Elder Titan being banned out last for both teams, and it's going to be the Sand King pickup, a very defensive support there for Mike Chan Dota. But that's not to say they can't take it aggressive. That Burrow Strike with good positioning. 2-man Burrow Strikes in the early game are devastating. He's a really good hero early on if you can play him well. And now over to that 5th pick here for ZUNI 2.0. Let's see what it is going to be. They've got about 30 seconds now to pick it up. All right, I'm looking in the chat now. We're going to have to we'll give Theory a shout out as well. One day, maybe, Theory, you and I, we can go on a nature hike or play some Ultimate Frisbee, but until now, until I start getting sent to events like Columbus, you know, if anyone wants to send me to Columbus, MLG, I will go and I will do whatever you need me to do at said event. But it will be Weaver picked up 5th there by ZUNI 2.0. So a pretty slippery carry, and they can actually go aggressive with this Crystal Maiden, Weaver, Earthshaker if they wanted to. I expect they'll go defensive because Clockwork, as we saw from last game, one of the best offlaners. They might even duo lane again, as 2-1-2 has been the name of the game tonight. And TA going to go into the mid lane, and this could really, really be troublesome for Invoker. And that's going to be an Orbit TA. He knows his stuff, so we'll see what they're going to get done. It's Knives Chow picking up the Invoker, which means he will be heading into the mid lane. We'll see what Orbit can do on the TA, and as it usually is when Orbit is on those heroes, it could be the Orbit show tonight. We'll see if they can get it done here in Game 3, but of course ZUNI 2.0, they don't want to let up. They want to take another win, maybe even a bit of an upset, but of course ZUNI 2.0, an amazing team. as we'll see what they get done here. We'll introduce them first, actually. So they're going to be over on the Radiant. Ooh, Bastion? Yeah, we're going Bastion. ZUNI 2.0, it will be that Weaver. The last pick there going to be played by Adam. That's their one role. The supports here are going to be Hale 44 on Crystal Maiden here for the second time. Played it in game 1, and that was the game that they won. And it's going to be Zeb on the Earthshaker supporting. This was actually the support combo they had in game 1. They had that Mirana mid and then the Viper bottom, so they switched it up a little bit. It's going to be Knives Chow in mid lane here on the Invoker. He may go Exort. If they rotate around this Zeb as well as Hale 44 with their stuns, they've got a lot of lockdown. Knives Chow will be able to land these Exorts and just pick up kills from the mid lane without having to go anywhere, and we'll see if they want to utilize that. And then last but not least, we've already got Garage here on the Clockwork. I hinted on the draft that he'll probably be the one playing this hero, and he is, so it will be Garage going into the offlane right now on the Clockwork, and we'll wait till the pause comes undone to go ahead and introduce Mike Chan Dota. And once again, if anyone here is joining us tonight on stream, big shout out to you guys, and I'd love for you guys to follow the channel here at twitch.tv/playcevo. We're going to be bringing you a ton of content as we launch CEVO TV for both Dota 2 and CSGO. Dota 2 was launched tonight, obviously. I think CSGO got launched October 21st, so some of you are obviously aware of that already. And then if you're watching in-game, thank you so much for already having purchased up that CEVO Season 3 ticket. It's only $1.99, and we're not even halfway through the regular season, not to mention we're going to have an amazing postseason between some of these teams here in Maine. And then I had one more thing to say. Will I remember it? Yes, I will. Obviously, if you're watching a game, you bought the ticket and you're helping support what CEVO does already. But if you want to help out even more, head over to the stream, twitch.tv/playcevo. I'd love to have you over here. Get involved in the chat. It's a pretty healthy chat. Learn quite a bit. And it's going to be for Mike Chan Dota. We've got Dave on the Queen of Pain going into the bot lane here. Going to be a duo lane along with Sand King this time. Going to be played by Humsum in the mid lane. It very well could be the Orbit Show. He's on one of those agility semi-carries. Can really snowball out of control in the mid lane. And if you do well enough, you really do turn into a late game carry if you can get far ahead early enough. But it's Dota. Who doesn't, I guess. We'll see if it's not going to be the Orbit Show. It will be Jigglebilly playing that Mirana, as the chat did suspect. Clearly a couple Jigglebilly fans in here tonight. So Jigglebilly on the Mirana, and last but not least, it will be the Chef on the Visage. It's going to be a duo lane 2-1-2, but look at this, and it's aggressive tri-lane. It will be the Weaver, the Crystal Maiden, and the Earthshaker heading into that aggressive tri-lane. And Zem's position, to me, did they eat the trees out already? You can route some creep into here with Fisher and really win that offline. We'll see if they want to do such a thing. I don't know if they will. Of course, Fisher's skilled first here by Zeb, and nope, they're just going for the body blocking train. Of course, the creep run very, very fast off the start to change that equilibrium. Actually, no, these creep don't. It's actually just the safe lane creep that start booking it at like 425 move speed. Then they slow it down. Anyways, it's going to be an aggressive tri-lane versus, I feel like, a pretty slippery duo lane, putting a point in leap, and he's even got these illusions here to start things off and really just harass down Adam. Look at that, half health already, going to force out quite a bit of regen, but he has quite a bit of regen, and it's going to make the bot lane pretty hard here. Clockwork would lose this matchup 1v1, and then Sand King just being here still might be hard to get a kill because of the defensive nature of Cogs. There they go right now. Still going to have enough for a Burrow Strike. Will go ahead and Burrow Strike. And the attacks with the poison, it could actually be enough. Poison will run out now, so I think Garage is going to be okay on the Clockwork. And he's going to have a tough time down here, but he should be able to get some levels. It's not going to be like the Clockwork we saw from last game played by Dave. Jigglebilly in the top lane, though, having a bit of a tough time. Fisher! Oh, nice leap just in time. He was waiting to see the animation from Zeb. It's a pretty long animation on the Fisher, so you know when it's going to happen. And let's see, Orbit transferred to support, so he's maybe a little rusty on his TA skills, but we already see him 8-1 to Invoker at 0-0, and look how much harass has already been had with the Psyblades, lining it up nicely, and TA is one of those heroes that has a pretty high skill cap. Well, not in the sense of just playing the hero, it makes sense. You put on Refraction, you Meld Strike, you kill people, you lay traps. It's not that hard, but the laning mechanics on TA in the mid lane to play it very effectively, I think it's maybe one of the hardest heroes to take mid and just do really, really well on. At the highest level of play. In pubs, I think maybe TA just seems OP if you're maybe not on the highest matchmaking, but Yeah, whatever. Enough of the TA rant. Good hero, and we don't see her all that much anymore, but still very, very powerful. And absolutely wrecking Knives Chow in the mid lane at the moment. 15-1 to 4 CS on Invoker, who is going Quas Exort, puts 2 points in Exort now. Hoping for Garage to maybe line up some easy Sunstrikes with the Cogs. Maybe if anyone in the bot lane gets low, or he catches out Humsum. Humsum, of course, can just burrow strike out of the Cogs, so maybe not. But in the top lane, that's the first blood, and Knives Chow gets it. 2 points in Exort, so that means the Sunstrike hitting for 162.5 damage. I love how that has 0.5 damage values. It just makes me laugh. But the aggressive tri-lane strikes, and it's a really good... I feel like the only way to run Invoker in the mid lane is if you go an aggressive tri-lane. So McD, Mike Chan Dota, they had to see this coming. Just because it's really 4 versus 1 when you do an aggressive tri-lane with an Exort Invoker in the mid lane. If you don't go aggressive tri-lane, I feel like maybe Quas Exort is the better way to go about it. I don't know. Dota's a hard game. Drafting is also hard. On the flip side, if they go aggressive against you and you have an Invoker in the mid lane, and yeah, you might want to go Exort as well to lend a hand to the defensive tri-lane, but either way, they didn't even need it there. It's just Invoker trying to get some kills early. Get some extra gold, build towards that Midas's. That's the item he will be going here. It's a great item for Invoker. It allows him to get bigger items and become a threat in the late game, as well as getting levels early and getting a lot of points up in Exort. In any of his spells. If the more points in Exort, the more damage you do. The more points in Quas, the more tanky you are, and the better your spells are in utility. The more points in Wex, the faster you can move around the map, the faster your spells launch, and the more damage some of your Quas Wex spells do. And actually, wow, Garage goes down to that Poison Strike. Shadow Strike brings him... Whoa! Did you guys hear that? Bastion just talked to me. He said, "What's with all the scribbling as I drew on the map?" That's crazy. Valve. What will they think of next? And we've got Zeb here in the nighttime with that long-range initiation of the Fisher, looking to snipe out Jigglebilly here, but he's just faking it for now in case Jigglebilly can just leap out of it. The animation, as we've touched on a little bit, it's pretty long, and back to checking out the farm. We've got TA 27-1 in the mid lane right now, absolutely dominating Invoker just at 12-1, as we would expect here. It even goes Exort, now puts a point in Wex. And we'll see what he can get done with that. Invoker has no spells to eat through this refraction, so it's really hard for him. I mean, I don't think TA is even taken a point in damage this entire game as Orbit. We'll see his first rotation as he's already level 6. It is nighttime, a minute now, but we're going to have a rotation here. They know their mid lane is losing, so Hale and Zeb, the Crystal Maid and the Earthshaker, look to rotate and maybe get something done. But let's check out some of the other farm. We've got 1 kill on Dave, as well as 17-4 on the last hit, 16-6 on the bottom here in the top lane. So 3 of the top 5 farmers right now are for the Dire. It's going to be Clockwork here in the bot lane. Took a death early, but he's 15-3. Invoker now up to 15, and pretty much Weaver right there as well. 14-9. Lots of denies on him, but will it be enough? And it's another kill in the bot lane. Clockwork will be going down. Queen of Pain and Sand King just getting it done down there. Visage even rotates to the mid lane. That's the Chef, expecting the supports to come off the top lane to maybe help out. It will be Crystal Maiden leaving that lane. They got 1 kill early, which was nice, but they know that they're really not going to be able to get any more, and it looks like the tri-lane has dissolved. It never was a tri-lane to begin with, and now the support, the Chef, rotating to the mid lane as Orbit wants to get that 6-minute rune and maybe have a nice rotation. Actually, they're going to go on Knives Chow. He picks up a point in Wex early because of this moment. There goes the Ghostwalk, the Chef. No reveal, and that's one of those 9 spells that he can just bring out. Oh, they can find Zeb, though. Of course, he's got that Fisher. The trap doesn't land there. Crystal Maiden is around. Orbit does not want to give up this death. He could be in a lot of trouble right here. Of course, he can meld. He has an Invis Room, but oh, there's a Sentry down. He needs to bottle up. They see him, get out of range of the Sentry. Sunstrike. Orbit dodges it, gets as close to this wall as possible, and will dodge the Sunstrike. Nicely done. Now he wants to go back on Zeb. He's bottling up. He's got a Tango as well, and another 10 seconds to go to chase Fisher. No mana for it, but Knives Chow with the attacks. That's gonna put Orbit off of the chase. He's gonna go back to farming. Humsum rotates over. He's 4, almost level 5, as the score early 2-1 for Mike Chan Dota, looking to close it out in 3 games. They lost game 1 in a pretty grueling game, went over to 15 minutes, and then game 2, Mike Chan Dota, explosive performance, and they're ahead early once again, but not like game 2 ahead. Just 1,000 gold lead, 1,500 XP, which even that at 7 minutes shows that you are being outlaned. It's not insanely bad right now, but yeah, it's not great. They are losing. They're a decent amount behind early on. It's not insurmountable by any means. As Dave is 2-0, 29-10, and Invoker's starting to get some more CS, but he's pretty far behind. This is a lost mid lane, and they haven't really been able to get anything done. Even they rotate 2 heroes down here to make it 3 versus 2 for the Radiant, and they don't even get a kill out of it, so they wasted a lot of time there. Adam, though, in the top lane, 24-11, started to do pretty well, as in the bot lane, Clockwork in trouble once again. The scream and that stun from Humsum. Humsum keeps rotating around the map, and that's going to be Garage on the Clockwork, going down to one more right click. Oh, he will live! 20 HP, and expecting maybe some TPs. Dave doesn't go for it. Humsum, though, maybe will. Here comes Hale. He's got 4 on the magic stick, so he can get back up enough mana to go ahead and throw that stun. Earthtaker's in the top lane looking for a pick-off. Will he be able to get it, though? He's entertained the idea for a while. Sunstrike to go out will just miss on the chef. A little bit of hesitation there by Knives Chow, and it's going to be Orbit. His first rotation out of the mid lane, pinged up by Yellow, so Crystal Maiden has alerted everyone that Orbit's heading up here, and that's going to be Adam and Zeb backing off, and that's the Radiant Ward that spotted it, this one as well. So they know when Orbit rotates up. The Dire, they actually refreshed theirs on the top and refreshed one on the mid. Nicely done. It's not often you see the default ward anymore. And that's Crystal Maiden. So now doing a 2-1-2. They put Crystal Maiden to the bot lane to help out this Clockwork. And this is a strong duo lane here. Hook forward by Garage. Stunned by Humsum, though. I mentioned on the draft defensive hero. They turned it around. Garage overextends. Will go down 3-1 early. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Starfall goes out. Couldn't land twice. It maybe would have if Adam didn't fade into the Saguchi with that max move speed. And just to talk about Mirana in this matchup versus Weaver, maybe Mirana doesn't do amazing in the lane, but she actually is winning it here, 39-15. One of the best heroes to have versus Weaver, because later in the game when Weaver's farming the lanes, if Jigglebilly strikes with an arrow, actually Jigglebilly in trouble here, Gemini attack going out, Soul Assumption to land. Oh, I thought the tower attack was coming. And nope, not going to get it. Splits on the creep. The chef got a little lucky with that one. Split the damage of the Sunstrike with the creep, maybe even missed. But Adam escapes with 40 HP, Soul Assumption not quite enough. The rocket just a little short as well. The chef just dodging bullets left and right there. Pretty fortunate for him to be able to get away. As once again, this top lane just unable to do anything right now. And here comes Dave. The wards are gone. Dave, if he blinks forward now, but he can't, it's on cooldown. Saguchi out. And do they have Reveal right now? Reveal. Knives Chow actually finishes up the Midas, so he's not doing too bad in the mid lane now. He's starting to regain some ground, but Bottle on the mid heroes, or the heroes that would go mid, the TA, the Quap. Sentries up on Humsum, some smokes on the chef if they want to use them on the Visage. He's still sitting back in base, maybe looking to put together a gank, but I think that Sentry spotted him. They do give a little bit of vision. Clockwork gets Humsum, meanwhile Adam taking out the bottom in the top lane. But yeah, that's Garage killing that Sand King that's been doing very, very well this game. Sand King up to level 6, so now when he gets back online, maybe Mike Chandota looks to push out here. They've got that Epicenter online, and Orbit just continues to farm. He's got Phase Boots, double damage, and okay, he's got Phase Boots. I'd be surprised if he goes Phase Blink. That's, well, for lack of a better term right now, that's sort of been phased out as the patches, more balanced patches have come out, and Dota 2 and Dota 1 of course. But yeah, it's that quick glass cannon build that allows you to get positioning and punish positioning, but I feel like in games like this, especially at this skill bracket, you're not really going to be able to just leap forward with phase, with the Blink Dagger being so squishy and get things done with so many stuns like Cogs, with Frostbite, with Cold Snap, with Fissure. It's just not going to happen. Even the Swarm will take off Refraction pretty quickly. I feel like Phase Yasha, or even Treads Yasha, or Treads Yasha BKB is the way to build CA these days, as she's pretty much the carry for this team. They've got sort of 3 semi-carries. The Queen of Pain can do pretty well, and is doing well. TA, the same thing. Lots of farm here, and then not to mention Podum, not the best late game carry, but pretty good. Starfall will get it. Jigglebilly throws the arrow just in case, and it wasn't needed, and if they had the arrow, maybe they could have got this Earthshaker here, but it doesn't matter. It's very nicely done, and they want that Crystal Maiden. TP coming in, though, by the Clockwork. Has Hook online. Can throw it if he wants to. Let's see if he will decide. Nope. Not going to do it just yet. In the mid lane, meanwhile, Oh, I kind of want to keep watching this. It's Orbit, though, on the dive with a double damage onto Knives Chow. Does Orbit have any vision? Big Meld's hit, but it's not going to do enough. 3 points in Meld. One more to max it out to get that 200 damage. And not to mention, what is it, the 5/8 armor reduction. Wow. That's insane, and he's going to just Meld up here. Didn't know he's there. Gets the last hit on the way out, and with this double damage, I think he's going to be able to claim the tower, but the Dire... they're rotating down to maybe try to get this. They pop the Glyph of Fortification here on the side of ZUNI 2.0 to save their mid at Tier 1 tower. They want Invoker to have a lane to farm as long as possible, and he's actually up to level 11 because of this Midas. He's 2 levels ahead of Orbit, who has dominated the lane. He's 72-8 compared to 58-7, but this Midas has really paid off, and he hasn't left the lane for more than a second. But just Midasing those hard camps, and it's going to be Dave getting a kill here quickly on Zale, or Hale will go down. He gets denied, actually. Beautiful deny there by the Clockwork. Orbit, though, Cog match onto Garage. Can't run out of the Cogs without getting pushed, and won't. So that's actually going to allow the Clockwork to live right here. Orbit now going to have to back off, and, well, it's a kill. Actually, it's not even a kill, it's that deny. Very nicely done. More items for the fans here. Knives Chow stunned up in the mid lane. Ice Wall goes out, and Ghost Walk. Can he invoke it in time? Epicenter chasing, and no, they're not going to get it. Nice Fisher by Zeb. Rocket comes in from Garage, picks up another kill. Humsum will drop, and just like that, they lose Orbit, his first death of the game. They lose Humsum. He's 0-2-4 right now, and just like that, 5-5. We check out the net worth as we approach 13 minutes. It's still 1.5k advantage in gold, but the XP right back to normal. And yeah, of course, Mike Chandota, they are playing with the substitute tonight, so they're maybe not on their A game 100%, but ZUNI 2.0 putting up a really good defense. They're not getting it demoralized early in this game, as it was a 3-0 lead pretty early, maybe just 3-1 if, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. Actually don't. But looking at net worth now as we approach 14 minutes, 5.7k because of this Midas, so I was saying earlier, it's such a lost lane, what have you, but he picks up some kills. He goes 1-0-1, has the Midas, highest level in the game, up to level 11 right now. And look at this, with all those points in Exort. He's got an Ools already on top of the Midas. The Chaos Meteor Sunstrike pickoff build with the Ools is online, and he's going to be able to do a lot with that. And there he looks to unveil it in the mid lane. Sunstrike and everything onto Orbit. Refraction peeled immediately, and the Dust. Orbit will go down. Nicely done. Knives Chow picks up a kill. The trap gonna be popped just to use it from the grave. 6-5 though, as ZUNI 2.0 looks to really turn this game around. And like I said, it was never a huge advantage, but look at that. Now they lead in XP by more than the Dire ever had, and starting to take over in gold. Just a little bit. And this is game 3, of course, in a best of 3 CEVO Season 3. CEVO-Main Season 3, to further clarify. Most of the games that are ticketed will, of course, be just CEVO-Main, as Dave in the bot lane is going towards... What is he going towards with that Staff of Wizardry? It seems a little peculiar. Maybe he wants to get a Necro. Could be a 4-staff. Seems like a strange item. I would still have liked him to just build an Orchid this game with his farm, but I don't know. Maybe he's going Necro. Has an early Null Talisman. Could turn that into a Veil of Discord, but probably not since he bought up the Staff of Wizardry. Could be a Dagon, but yeah, I'm actually thinking I'd bet my rares on a Dagon right now. It's Dave. He's a pretty crazy player. And they're not really ahead anymore, but still a Dagon this early on Queen of Pain is going to hurt. Sees the Crystal Maiden and just runs away anyways. That was a little interesting. Humsum threw out an Epicenter already once this game. Didn't do a whole lot, and there's 2 towers, 2 heroes bunkered down here but behind this mid tier 1 tower, and it's, well, it's the entire Radiant team here looking to start to take some towers and group together. And why are they doing this? Let's check out their items. Do they have a mech? No. And it will be Orbit actually going for a Desolator next. So he's going Phase Deso, which is pretty glass cannon, but really pumps out the damage where that Blink Dagger doesn't. You're just dependent on that 200 meld hit. So he's looking to get the Desolator online pretty soon. It could even rush it into a BKB. He probably goes Mithril Hammer first, just so that he can make the decision. If they start to lose, which they actually sort of have, the XP is getting pretty out of control. Well, it's almost up to 3k right now at just 16 minutes. It's not terrible, but they are starting to fall back behind. So it gives them the choice to, if they think they can start to pull ahead, go Desolator, offense the best defense sort of mindset. Or wait, what is that? How's that idiom go? The best defense is a good offense? Whatever. You get what I'm trying to say. Anyway, hook out here onto Garage, onto Humsum. Nice Sunstrike. That's what I talked about earlier. You can just Burrow Strike the Cogs. He does just that. Doesn't even get pushed by them either. I guess you technically are going under them, so I like that it doesn't work there. Familiars. Oh, familiar micro. Easy 100 gold for Adam as one of the familiars will get sniped out. Hail, though, going to go down. Epicenter going to get... Nope, the cogs. Nice. No, the epicenter does actually go off. Garage going to be slowed up a little as a result. Takes the trap blink from Dave over the cogs, and now they've got to get Knives Chow. Knives Chow, though, pretty fast with those Wex points. Arrow off a cooldown in 3, 2, 1. Arrow is a pretty big choke point here. Can he throw it? Knives Chow going to juke. Yeah, taking the longest path. It's going to be Weaver that gets a kill on Visage on the backside. Visage going to fall. It's 3 for 2 right here, though. Slow goes out onto Adam, but of course Saguchi, he don't care. Got to go fast. Nothing going to slow him down as Knives Chow on the Invoker. Still alive. Highest net worth in the game. Still. And oh, the Dire's Courier going to get sniped up here. And it goes down right there. Snapped up by that Weaver. Took out the Visage, took out the Courier. Nicely done. Moonlight Shadows, arrow goes out. Jigabilly misses it point blank. He wants that one back, and I don't think his team's going to be able to capitalize on that one. And look at that. Just 1 point in Wex. And, or wait, does... I'm not an Invoker player, so what controls the distance on Tornado? I thought it was Wex. It is. It looked like that went really far. Despite only 1 point in Wex. Maybe it was just the angle that I was looking at it. But 8-8 here in Game 3, and clearly both teams giving it their all. Mike Chan Dota is undefeated in CEVO-Main Season 3. ZUNI 2.0 has taken 1 loss, and, well, that's why Moran is great against the Weaver. Throws out that arrow, you hit that, it's a 5-second stun, and Weaver dies, and of course that arrow goes through the Lincolns as well, at least the stun part of it does. And meanwhile, Dave in the bot lane, gonna take a Sunstrike to the face, gets low, but with the DD, is able to get that tower and TP back to base. Has a Dagon, he can level it up to Dagon 2 here pretty soon, and the Courier just got sniped. Let's check out what it had. Nothing, actually, so that's pretty nice. They mitigate their losses there, as Hale gonna get a nice D ward on their Ancients, which they aren't stacking. They don't really have any hero that can take care of those stacked Ancients for them. As 20 minutes now into the game, well, 19. It's 9-8, and we've got 17 kills in 19 minutes, so definitely a slower game than the first two, especially one as Invoker continues to keep his net worth there in first place, 8.6k. We've got Dave at 7.0, 7,000 gold right there, looking for a Dagon 2 potentially. Although putting all your eggs into a Dagon, because that recipe is expensive, you don't get any effective stats from it, just more damage. Jigabilly, though, in the top lane, going to be disarmed, going to be frostbitten as well. That's a little unfortunate that... Well, you can leap in Frostbite, so I think that's what happened there. Of course, you still will be frostbitten upon landing at your new destination. It lasts 3 seconds there on the Crystal Maiden, so we see that in full effect. Jigabilly's Potom goes down, another good pickoff. It evens up the score at 9-9, but again, we look into the graphs, 2,000 gold, and now actually Mike Chan back in terms up front in terms of XP. They don't quite get the burst damage there, and I don't know. I don't agree with you, Dave. I think you should have just built an Orchid. It's one of the best items to have up versus this Weaver. He's thinking maybe if I blink in and then throw out the Dagon quickly, he'll die. But that's not the case. I mean, even with the Dagon and the Scream like that, he can just Saguchi and dodge, and there's a chance you'll miss your ultimate, which you need that damage. I think the Orchid is the safer choice here, and actually that Mithril Hammer Orbit does turn it into a BKB. I rattled off a list of all the spells that disrupt that TA earlier, and there's quite a few on the other team, so that BKB, good choice. The hook off the mark, aiming for the Visage. Garage will miss. Shadows take us. They're looking to reinitiate off this. Here comes Humsum. Arrow. Nice familiars to set up the arrow stun, and I think Humsum wants to get more than one. We'll just get Knives Chow, and okay, there's an Epicenter on top of the Ools. Nicely done by Knives Chow. I think he can live here, but double kill for Dave. Actually, no, he's just dominating the Meteor. The Chaos Meatball going to be dropped down, and there's the Dagon. Dave pulls up the double kill. It goes 2 for 1 on that trade, but they kill the highest net worth hero on the map as arrow off the mark hits a neutral, as Adam able to escape here on the Weaver. 11-10 as this game grinds on. 21 minutes, and Orbit with the meld damage reduction. They might want to be going for this as Jigabilly tanks up. Phase Drums, Soul Ring, Poor Man's Shield. 2,000 gold. We'll see what his next item is. Expected to be a Manta. In case you get cold snapped or anything like that, you can just Manta up. Gonna be pretty nice. Zeb has that long-range Fisher initiation. He's got Echo Slam as well. I don't believe we've seen it used this game yet. There's actually a Medallion on the Chef here on the Visage. The Familiars assisting with this. Lots of mana, or armor reduction, excuse me, as Jigabilly throws out the arrow. Of course, the 5-second stun. And Potom's a great hero to have when trying to take those early Roshans. That 5-second stun is really, really nice, not to mention the 6 armor reduction from the Medallion of Courage and the 8 from the Meld. They take Roshan pretty quickly despite having, let's see, 0 damage items, physical damage items. Sure, the BKB does plus 24. It's just that armor reduction that speeds it up a little bit because, of course, Dave goes for a Dagon. And what's his next item choice going to be? He's got 4,000 gold. And at 22 minutes, I feel like just going Dagon 4 with that. Well, I think he can get up to Dagon 3. Could be worth it, but no, he's going to go Sheepstick. Yeah, I think it's a little risky to put all your eggs in that one basket of a Dagon because, like I was saying earlier, the recipes are expensive. They don't give you any... Well, they level up the stats a little bit, but it's not an efficient way to get stronger in terms of right-clicking for the late game because as BKBs get online, or even a Lincoln's here for the Weaver... Where is Weaver on that? He actually goes BKB first, looking for it now with the Ring of Health. Going for that survival mode, I'm going to try to rely on the damage here for Knives Chow, that initiation, the blink, the Ul's Scepter. So he's looking to show off his Invoker skills this game, and he's 3-1-2. I think he's done well. Of course, he loses the last hit battle to Orbit in the mid lane, but he manages to never die. He gets a pretty well-timed Midas, and he's picking up some big items as a result. He's still the highest level on the game by 2. He's up to 15, 13 on the Weaver, and then 13, 13, 13. On all the carries for Mike Chandota, actually Quap just hitting 14, only about 700, only about maybe 1,600 gold away from that Sheepstick that she wants, and that's going to be massive for this Queen of Pain this game. That Sheepstick on the Weaver, okay, well I see it now, of course, with that Orchid, you can shut down the Weaver earlier and quicker, but Orchids, you know, it's pretty expensive in its own right, and then you go Dagon early, it gives you the potential to pick off the Weaver. You have the arrow from Jigglebilly as well to try to shut down Adam, which it's been pretty effective. 2, 2, and 3, only 97 last hits at 24 minutes. He hasn't done incredible. And now in the late game, with some kills that Dagon gave you, he's 5-0-3. Dave is on the Queen of Pain, and he's looking to go into a Sheepstick, which will be pretty much a free kill on Adam until he gets up that Lincoln's, and he's got the Void Stone to finish up the Perseverance if he wants it now, but he's still pretty far off, and that means no damage until probably 30 minutes. No damage items until probably 35, 33 minutes. As Jigglebilly, it looks like he's being ganked by his own team as they smoke behind him, looking to maybe bait him up here as he heads into the lane. Really effective use of the Soul Ring. Dropping his items and then using the Soul Ring. Well, the game has definitely slowed down. We saw the last kill maybe 4 or 5 minutes ago. It was either Clockwork killing Sand King or Queen of Pain killing Clockwork. And it's going to be Dave, as I say that. Dave involved in that last kill and involved in this one now. It's 11-11. Invoker with the pickoff, Sunstrike, as well as Earthshaker with the Fisher. And that's the power of the Ul's combo, is able to pick people off. And well, the Mystic Staff gets purchased up, so only 600, 700 gold away now from a full Sheepstick right now, as the Dire will lose their bottom tower. That's Mike Chandota, but they go for top. Here's the Forged Spirits, 2 of them online, 4 points in Quas, a lot of points in Exhort, all of them actually. How many are there? 7.
Towers getting the business. Radiant swooped in and disowned their top tower.
Well, they disowned the top tower according to Bastion, so that means that's a deny, which is pretty nice. It's just a tier 1, and here's that Ul's initiation here by Knives Chow. Definitely blast to go off, but here's the BKB. Orbit wants to turn this around, tries to fight. That hook stun will go through in Orbit. Everything has been used, and he's able to TP out. No, he will drop. That's a nice pick off there. That's going to waste the Aegis. Can the team reinitiate upon this? They can't. Orbit wastes the Aegis and will go down once again. Clockwork gets that kill, 12-11. Meanwhile, the Mike Chandota, the rest of the squad, just trying to thwart the push as that bottom tower did fall, and Jigglebilly's down here farming up the wave. Goes Yasha into a Manta, or Ultimate Orb, so the Manta now is finished up. He can buy it, but here are the Radiant in the top lane, 12-11. Making a game of it here in Game 3. Dead even on gold and XP. 12-11, 1 kill advantage. Net worth still stands. Invoker almost up to 13k. Dave at 10. Mirana at 9.6. But here comes a push in the mid lane from Dave, who has that Sheepstick online in just a little bit. And not to mention the Manta finished up. Dave won't be caught by the Tornado. He's good to go. And there's the Manta for Jigglebilly. So that's 2 really big item pickups here for the Dire. Mike Chandota looking over at the Radiant. We've got a Blade Mail and Urn and BKB and Ags now on Invoker. That's going to be nice. Knives Chow basically going for the I'm going to show off my Invoker skills builds this game with that item progression. This Blade Mail is going to be pretty nice versus the TA, maybe even the Visage with the Soul Assumption and the Queen of Pain, basically all the burst damage. If you use it against that Blade Mail, it's not going to be pretty for your team, but yeah, these big items, the Sheepstick and the Manta, could be the winning recipe for Mike Chan Dota, as the team fights have been close, and also this Blink Dagger coming up on the Sand King. That's a lot of really big core items coming up for Mike Chan Dota, and despite the gold graph being even, there's really not a whole lot over on ZUNI 2.0. The Weaver is getting closer to the Lincolns if he wants it. He could just go BKB Desolator as well. Might bode a little better this game, but doesn't want to be sheeped up. If he gets sheeped up, the team practically loses, because now there's BKBs on a couple of the core heroes for Mike Chan Dota. Invoker will be less effective. And the Sheepstick comes out now. Looks like they want to smoke up. Yep, Zeb going to pop off that smoke, and they're looking for the gank here. They're going to be maybe baiting Adam in the top lane. Adam, he's pushing the top lane right now. Oh, did they fix this? Nope, they did not fix it. Yeah, they're looking to bait him in the top lane. Look at the Dire already. We can see all these X's on the minimap starting to push over through the jungle to top, and they're going to try to cut him off with this smoke gank. We'll see if it works out, because they don't know that the Sheepstick got finished, the Manta got finished, and the Blink got finished. So Mike Chan Dota has a really good window of opportunity here in this next team fight to finally take a real lead this game and maybe start to close it out. As we approach 28 minutes, the game practically dead even. Alright, well, sorry, I took a moment there to read the chat. Apparently, some people don't like the way I say ools, which, that's fine. Yules, I guess, if you want to say it that way. I don't know. Reading's OP. That's all I gotta say. You're probably right. It probably is Yules, but I might just take the neutral and just call it Scepter of Divinity. But that's a little harder to say, huh? 12 to 11, 80, 28 minutes in the graphs, as we've looked at a couple times. Dead even the items now. Let's check it out. Yeah, the Desolator on its way for Orbit. That's another big item coming out for Mike Chan. It looks like, unless there's a one on the Courier. No, he's going to be 1,200 gold away from that, another big item. And then Weaver, as I see a couple people in the chat saying, and I think I've touched on, he may not go for the Lincolns. He might be going for a Desolator next. He's up to 2,700 gold, so the choice is his. But if he does go for the Lincolns, sure, he's more survivable, but he's not offering a lot to the team, and they're going to need some right-click soon, because it's coming for Mike Chan Dota. And we've got Knives Chow with a very, very spell-based hero, Invoker. His spells are very strong right now, but of course, there's a BKB on Orbit, and I think it would maybe bode well for Jigglebilly and Dave to pick up one themselves. The Blink Dagger on Humsum. So yeah, I would say right now Mike Chan Dota slight edge in the fight because of these items. They're going to be quite a surprise, and I know I've talked about that a little bit already. We find ourselves in another pause, pretty delayed here tonight. Dota 2 updated, slowed us down a bit. Quite a few pauses as well. But anyways, if you guys are watching in a game, and I'm just going to check real quick how many are watching in here. NEL did launch tonight with Season 2, so they might be taking a bit. But there's 289 of you watching here in client, and there's only 65 on stream. So, of course, if you're in client, you've already bought the ticket, you're helping support us a lot, and we very much appreciate that. But if you want to do just one more, go over to twitch.tv/playcevo. Make sure to follow here. We'd love to have you, as we launch CEVO TV tonight in Dota 2. So this is going to be CEVO's home. I know myself, Helium, I've been casting a lot on Neo Dota, even my own channel, FMBP Dota, while CEVO got a little bigger and started to do their own broadcasting. So here we are, CEVO TV, the new home, Play CEVO. There'll be a Play CEVO 1 and 2 as well for multiple games, as CEVO does quite a bit. And if you're curious about that, go over to CEVO.com and get that information. And to also talk about the website, you can run predictions on the teams. It's a lot of fun. The forums are fairly active, talking about the teams, or even if you're looking for a team, it's a great place to post and get involved in the tournament. because rosters, of course, are still open. You can't sign up anymore, but if you join a team, maybe you can get involved here. It's a great tournament. A bit of prize money involved as well. I want to say 750 for first place here in Season 3 and 250 for second, and then hardware prizes for third place. So yeah, there's definitely money to be had, and these are two teams that have the potential to get it, Mike Chan Dota and ZUNI 2.0. Other notables, maybe Hi to You, Top 5, Easy Bait Oven, and I'm sure there's a couple more if I were to go look at the list as a whole. Let's check it out, actually, as this pause is lasting a little while here. Other teams, okay, the Bird's Nest are pretty solid. Avanti's Angels are in it. Some of you know that team from MLG. Team Quetzal from Mexico, pretty good. Unnerve is basically an NEL/IXDL stack. Armada Gaming, also quite good. Even the Magikarps, Team Magikarp, solid team. We Hate Laser Guns, pretty solid. Team Chibusa, they're actually coming along really nicely. They weren't ever that strong of a team, but now I think they're actually quite good. Team Rewind, Faded, Farming All Day Every Day, that's Corey. Members of Stay Free play on that team. Top of the line, they're from South Florida, so I gotta mention them. We've got Intrigue, a pretty solid team. Some old Dota 1 pros on that squad. ZUNI 2.0, we see them here. A couple of teams that have taken some forfeit wins there were quite good, and their names aren't so PG, so we won't read them here. Vex Gaming is solid. I hear Game Zone's pretty good, but I haven't got a chance to cast them. Some wacky SGs. Their roster may have fallen on some hard times recently, but they're definitely a quality team looking to go pretty far into the tournament. Pandemic getting back in. Union Gaming, a Peruvian squad that's very talented. They debuted the other night. Actually, on Monday, we cast them last. Very, very quality team with Citadel at the helm. Great Peruvian squad. Pandemic, they get back into Dota after, I think, Season 1 is the last time we saw them. They're a quality team, and typical mistakes, but not the typical mistakes you guys may be thinking of. It's actually Goody, Eosin, Relic, Finith, and Last Hit Magic. So I say the name Relic, and that should be proof enough that there's a lot of quality teams here in CEVO-Main, and the playoffs, double elimination bracket, best of threes are going to be off the hook when we finally do get there. Of course, after tonight, we're halfway through the regular season, so yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Still a lot of Dota to be played. If you guys buy up those tickets, only $1.99 in the store for the CEVO Season 3 in-game tickets, and trust me when I say you'll make your money back in item drops. Well, unless you're me, because I'm unlucky and I've never got a drop in my entire life. Pfeiffer can contest. Can contest? Well, no, he can confirm. As we play CSGO and he gets like 7 drops and I haven't got a single one, and maybe it's because I'm bad at that game, but I don't think that's how it works. As we do have a smoke gank here from ZUNI 2.0 as the game is still paused. And I have exasperated all leads. So now we will have a moment of silence. I could use some water, I'm not going to lie. Oh, look at that water. That's awesome. Just in case you didn't believe me. I might as well go back on camera. Hey, everybody. Yeah, we've had a disconnection here. It was actually the chef that DC'd, which is pretty unfortunate. So hopefully we can get this game going again pretty soon. As it's getting late here, and I kind of want to play some Dota myself. And this game's not even that close to being over. It's very close at just 28 minutes right now. And for those of you that missed it, we did a giveaway earlier. We gave away some hardware. Well, if you want to consider it hardware, we gave away that Zowi's mouse. That was, I'm gonna forget the name. It started with a P and it ended with 4913. Still actually have to give him the item or get his information so we can mail it. But we will be doing some more giveaways here on the stream, of course. So make sure you follow Play CEVO, so you will be eligible when we do those. It's a good time. And yeah, again, that's about all I got. What else can we talk about? Let's go over the patch. What happened in the patch? If I could type. Let's go. We're going 4v5. I don't want to go 4v5. MLG, Columbus bundle. Okay, yeah, bundle. Will be added to the prize pool as well. That's pretty sick. Yeah, Dota 2 seems to have a bug. Alright, we get back into the game right now. It looks like they're going to start this up 4v5. That's pretty unfortunate here for the undefeated Mike Chan Dota. This wouldn't really have changed the outcome of this game because they pick off Dave once again. Garage even there with the hook as we quickly get unpause the action rolling as 13-11 the chef. Hopefully he's alright. Hopefully he didn't get abducted by aliens or his house didn't burn down. We'll just assume his internet went out. That's hopefully the worst it is. As now ZUNI 2.0, well, it was a very, very close game, but they're playing 5v4 right now, and, well, this doesn't happen very often here in Dota. Maybe in CSGO, but, we'll see if Mike Chan Dota can win this. I know they've won 4v5 before, but it's going to be a tall order. They pick off Garage here, Orbit with the BKB, and he's only 500 gold away from that Desolator now, 14-12. Nice quick pick off on the Queen of Pain, and then they go 1-for-1 after that. The graphs, yeah, they haven't changed too much since we checked them out. What seems like 20 minutes ago, but of course we haven't had any gameplay in 20 minutes as Adam, this... Oh, arrow... Oh, it's gonna land! A max range arrow, 5-second stun. There's an Yule's Scepter, excuse me. Adam will actually live. Beautiful arrow by Jigabilly. Zeb throws out the Echo Slam. Visage drops. Ultimate here from Dave Knifes. Chow gonna take the fall. Dagon on to the Weaver. And wow, Mike Chan Dota actually starting to win this fight. Are there any stuns? The Familiars, the drop was on cooldown, so they weren't able to stun. In the mid lane, meanwhile, Dave going to continue to chase Zeb, and what a team fight, even without the Visage. They actually were controlling the Visage a little bit. I heard a few soul assumptions, and it's 15-15, evened up. That trade goes, I believe, 4-for-3. Overall, and now the Dire, Mike Chan Dota looking to push here. Buybacks from Invoker, Knives Chow with the buyback, looking to go into the tier 1 tower. Pushing it down a little bit. May even get it. Orbit here now finished up that Desolator, so his damage is going to be off the chain. And now that they've evened up the kills, maybe taking a lead on the graph with their big items, BKB up. Icewall still slows through that. Epicenter, nicely done. They're going to get Garage as well on the Clockwork. He pushes a few. Blade Mail up. Dave getting pretty low. Able to blink out of that. There goes the meatball. Humsum going to take a fall, and yeah, he will finally drop 2-for-2 there. And will they get the second tower? TP's come in. Orbit will drop there right by the tower. I think that took him down. And yeah, Knives Chow going to try to chase, but the Familiars will say no. Someone's still controlling those, which makes me wonder, was the chef controlling them in the first place ever? As the Radiant look for some easy 100 gold, and they won't be able to find it. Someone's microing those Familiars up nicely. 2 were dead, so it's probably either Orbit or Humsum. Roche respawning here in a minute. It was Orbit on the Templar Assassin who had it last. But of course, they didn't really get to put it to use, and the chef's being controlled, being microed. And if he comes back, actually, it's really not even that bad for Mike Chan Dota. Of course, we did wait a pretty long time. So big shout out for ZUNI 2.0 for waiting around that long, and especially if you guys are still sticking around. Big shout out to you guys as now the tier 2 tower in the mid lane going to fall. So we've got one outer tower remaining very low for the Dire, and all 3 tier 2s still online. The mid tower, the only one in danger of falling. It's actually in deny range, and the Dire posted up to defend their high ground. Jigabilly continues to farm Manta, Phase, going towards a BKB, Soul Ring, Drums, and a Magic Wand. And well, the Radiant starting to steal some Ancient stacks. That's kind of a nuisance. TA wanted to clear this out quickly with the side blades, but won't get the chance. His power supply exploded. I have to say, I've got a story. Back when I played WoW and Burning Crusade, it was like the first night Karazhan opened and we were going to try to take our run in there, and my power supply exploded on the first boss, and I didn't get to run it. It was very unfortunate. But anyway, power supplies do explode, and so do Jigabillies as they pick them off there on the bottom. Adam going to be in trouble as well. The Tornado actually... not going to be enough to save him. He buys back, time lapses into the fray, gets stuck in the cogs, BKB'd up, will drop immediately again, wastes the time lapse. Dave with a double kill, Garage with a double kill, Visage being controlled nicely. Another soul assumption out, and it's going to be a kill for the chef, even though he's not even here, and that's a 2-kill advantage now. They turn it around very nicely there. Mike Chan Dota. That's a buyback on the Weaver. Well, Visage will finally die. It's a buyback on the Weaver, time-lapsing back in to try to fight, to try to maybe win the game here, fighting in a great position with their wave pushing. Had they won that fight, they probably could have taken a Rax, could have taken the game, potentially. Let's look at the buyback status for Mike Chan Dota. Dave, yes. And that's it. Okay, so yeah, not a lot of buyback status. If they won that fight, could have been the game. Unfortunately for the Weaver, he buys back, and he time lapses from the grave back into the fight at full health, actually. That's how fast he dropped, and then he time lapses right into a cog match, gets stunned up quickly and dies immediately without even attacking. And well, he was approaching another item, and now suddenly after a death, a buyback and a death, he's down to 2,300 gold. He lost a lot there, and well, that delays the... He doesn't even have a Lincoln's if he wants it, and that's going to delay damage items to like 40 minutes, 45 minutes even. This Weaver still not right-clicking for a lot. Mike Chan Dota's chances this game looking better and better as they do play without Mike Chan himself, and now they're playing without the Chef, a great support that really anchors their team, gives them stability to it. But here's the Roshan, the Exort. Sunstrike gonna go ahead and scout it out. Rocket as well, but they get the Aegis second of the game. That's gonna be given to Orbit right now. Alright, and we've managed to get 71 of you here on the stream, so that's pretty good debut numbers here for Play CEVO. This is CEVO TV launching here in Dota 2, and I hope you guys stick around and make sure to follow the channel. We will tweet when we go live, so make sure to follow myself at HeliUmbrella or CEVO at CEVO, believe it or not, on Twitter, of course, to always get the info on when, where, what we're going live with, including the game title, as we do cover Counter-Strike Global Offensive and Dota 2 here. As well, we'll quit on the plugs for now. I just want to get that information out there, as well, it's going to be a big deal, and we're going to offer you the best viewing experience possible. But here we go, ZUNI 2.0, pushing in here, 5 in the mid lane on the Radiance. They're looking to break the high ground. Of course, it's going to be pretty difficult. Epicenter rank 2 right now. They've got the Blink Dagger. They have Arcane Boots online as well here for Mike Chan Dota. Well, the Chef's not coming back because his power supply exploded. So unless he borrows a roommate's laptop or has another computer nearby with Dota installed, which would be nice if everyone had that. Not everyone does. I don't. Well, I do, but my other computer's trash. Garage will be saved maybe by a Fisher, misses the hook, and yeah, he's gonna go down. Melt hit from Orbit, gonna clean it up. He's up to 3.2k gold now, popping a trap on Zeb. Will they continue to chase? They will. Humsum goes up aggressively. Marana actually gonna pick off, wait, what? Where did he pick that off? In the bottom lane, Jigglebilly picks off the Weaver, and that's what I talked about quite a few times. You're farming up, you're like, oh, I'm Weaver, I'm so hard to kill, I'm just gonna farm here, and it's dangerous to be here, but it's okay, and then boom, an arrow, 5-second stuns. Even if you have a Lincoln's, it doesn't matter, and look at that, he's still 1,800 gold away, or 1,300 gold away-ish from picking up a Lincoln's at 35 minutes. This Weaver literally has nothing. He can't offer a lot to his team. They force out another buyback here on the Clockwork, and Zeb gonna be caught by an arrow. Mike Chan Dota pushing into the high ground, and that's gonna be the Ul's Sunstrike combination. Yule's Sunstrike combination. Sorry, I'll work on it. Tornado goes out here, so being as annoying as possible is Knives Chow. The tier 3 tower starting to get low. There's that buffed EMP. The ultimate goes out to zone a little bit, and Arrow gonna catch. Dave, though, is still gonna go down. A Garage done by the Arrow. Blade Mail's up. The Chef is there. Needs to throw out the strikes, and will get just that. Will even live. Sunstrike not gonna land on anybody, and it's 1-for-1 right now. That was a buyback by Clockwork, and he dies. So any item progression he was working towards, maybe a pipe for his team, maybe a Aghanim's Scepter, not gonna happen. As the Chef up to almost 4,000 gold right now on that Visage. Since he's disconnected, I think he's got like 5 kills. He's 5, 4, and 9 now, and I think the Dire team, Mike Chan Dota, just gonna heal up. They still have this Aegis, so they heal up, try to take another team fight and put that Aegis to use by breaking the high ground, which they almost did there. Glyph of Fortification not used, or maybe coming off a cooldown now, but the tower very, very low. The tier 2 still stand in the bottom lane as well as the top lane, so Mike Chan Dota's, well, if they break the base, it's only going to be 1 lane of racks because those towers still stand, and we've got Weaver here, well, now in the mid lane, but being annoying, pushing out the side lanes, farming in the jungle, taking the Dire Ancients, but Jigglebilly enforcing that. 225 CS, 32 denies, and his net worth up to 14.7k on the bottom. Manta, BKB, another 2,000 gold about. Invoker still chilling at the top, 18.3k. Blink, Yule's, Aghanim Scepter, Refresher, Ultimate Orb online. Been a long night, starting to lose my train of thought apparently. Gonna be Ultimate Orb, so it looks like he's going for that Sheep Stick now. As Zeb with a Blink Arcane, that's about all he needs. Would like rank 3 in Echo Slam, but of course he's only level 11. He's the lowest level in the game by a lot. Adam going to be sheeped up immediately. Deafening Blast going to save the life of the Clockwork. Nicely done. Humsum push through the cogs, going to go down. BKB's popped up aplenty. Dave going to blink out and retreat. Beautiful pick off. Humsum, the only one to go down though. Murano on the backside will pick off the Crystal Maiden. There's a Tornado searching for him right now. Adam going to continue to chase. Bugs thrown out. Jigglebilly doesn't have an arrow yet. And well, it goes 1-for-1 support for a support, and it's the Crystal Maiden 4-staff. Earn working towards a BKB now, and Potom picks up that invisibility. That's going to drop off that pesky little Scarab. We see it dropping off there, and I think he's going to look to pick off Zeb. Maybe even Adam if he can land that arrow. Deafening Blast, though, that 5-second disarm is insane. Actually, what is it at right now? The disarm duration is 2.5. And yeah, arrow searches is going to miss. That pops him out of invisibility. Jigglebilly knows he has to run, and not going to be another rune for a little while. In the mid lane, Knives Chow, nice initiation onto Orbit. Orbit going to go down. That's the Aegis used, but it was literally just about to run out, so they get the use out of it there. At least, you know, Orbit doesn't go down. Jigglebilly as well, able to retreat. Still looking to be aggressive. He's really far out by himself. That's Jigglebilly for you. Fun player to watch. We'll see what he can get done here. Arrow, searching, searching, searching. Boom! Hits something, but it's going to be a creep. Dave in the bottom lane getting the split push on. Has that Scythe of Ice that he's had for a while. 1,300 gold in the bank. He had to purchase a new big item. Oh, he could find the courier. Oh, he finds it. Now they see Dave. They know he's there. Or they see Jigglebilly, excuse me. Oh, he's going for it. He's going for it. The cogs. One more attack. Not going to be able to get it. He's going to try to man fight this. He's going to go ahead and Mansa out. Going to continue to attack. Has that BKB charge for a little while longer. And let's see, can he break the high ground? No, arrows aren't going to be enough from the Manta Illusions. Stun up there by Zeb, and Jigglebilly going to pay the price here. He's going to go down. Can leap, but he goes the wrong way. Invoker picks up the kill. Meanwhile, Dave in the bot lane has that sheep. Could potentially kill Adam here. Easily could kill Adam here. Saguchi. Alright, Adam into the trees. Let's see if Dave has the sense here. They don't know. Adam's just being very defensive. He knows Queen of Pain is on the prowl looking for him right now. And there he is. He reveals it. So Adam will be fine. Dave is patient, but he's not that patient. He could have probably taken it, but maybe worried of someone else being there. I don't know if they would have, though. They saw pretty much everybody besides the Weaver involved in killing that Potom, that Jigglebilly in the top lane. As well, let's look at the just a minute and a half. I think it was 4 minutes, so we're maybe like 2 minutes away from the next Roche. That's going to be Aegis and Cheese, and it could be good here for Mike Chan Dota, as the chef, his power supply exploded, so he's not coming back on the Visage. And we can't yet have people join the game once they've started for players that have disconnected or abandoned. Dota 2 will be off the chain once that happens. If it happens. I don't know if they'll do that. That could mess with matchmaking values in terms of wins and losses a little bit, but whatever. Seems like a good idea to me. 26-23, 3-kill advantage for Mike Chan Dota, as we're getting very late here on the East Coast. It is now 12:30 a.m. 41 minutes into this game, so this game also getting quite late. 20.3k. Knives Chow on the Invoker still manages to hold that top farming spot. Dave could be in trouble, blinks away, doesn't get Yuled. I'll work on it. Actually, I don't know how I feel about changing that. Oh, the hook going to be blocked by teammate Zeb. Knows he's screwed up a little bit there, and that's going to allow Dave to retreat safely. In the mid lane, they've got whoever's been microing the chef has been doing an incredible job. He's been actually, this Visage has still been making the difference in the team fights despite Visage not being here. As Jigglebilly, they look to push the mid lane, and all the outer towers are down, so all the tier 3s are exposed if Weaver wants to try to get the split push on into the Radiant base and force back some TPs. But with how low this tier 3 tower is, they don't want to take any chances. Roche responds in a minute, so I think Mike Chan Dota may be looking to suffocate the Radiant into their base. As checking out the graphs, it's still so close. They actually pulled way ahead in XP. They're 10,000, maybe 9,000 ahead in XP now. Gold, though, no difference. 1,000 gold at this point of the game doesn't make a difference. The only thing that may is that Weaver bobbed back and died, Clockwork bobbed back and died, and that's delayed their items, as finally the Lincolns gets finished up here at 42 minutes. So maybe 45, 47 minutes we see finally another damage item coming out here. Could be MKB, could be Daedalus. Sells the Bass. 2,100 gold, and Roche is respawning very, very soon in about maybe like 30 seconds. Gonna be up. As we've got now the Ancients being tackled here by Jigglebilly. They're just waiting around the Roche pit, but the Radiant ZUNI 2.0, they're around as well. They're going to be able to snipe that off if they need to. Alright, sorry, take a moment to read some of the chat there. Those little raise, give faces just crack me up still. Twitch chat has certainly evolved into something, hasn't it? 26-23 still that score. Not a lot of action yet. Game has slowed down considerably as really the next team fight here, I think, could be the one that wins it. As though, as I say that, we've got Orbit with buyback, Dave with buyback, Jigglebilly with buyback. Looking over at ZUNI 2.0, it's just the Clockwork, just the Invoker with buyback. So the next team to maybe win a big team fight here gets that Roche and potentially can get a Rax and really start to take a huge advantage this game. XP, pretty solid advantage for Mike Chandota right now. I mean, look at this Earthshaker level 13. Visage is level 13 now as well, but of course he's disconnected. Mike Chandota's playing 4v5. The gold at just 2,000 doesn't matter, but what does matter is this Weaver is now going for a Desolator, and he's going to get his first damage item at 47 minutes, and that's just unheard of. That's not good. He had a really tough game in an unfortunate buyback situation he found himself in. Buyback, time-lapse into the fight, and then dies. That lost him like 2,000 gold. As EMP Tornado, pretty annoying, and it's not going to really take out too much. What's the points in Wax? It's got to be maxed by now. He's only level 22 actually, so Wax not quite all the way maxed out, but Invoker's still quite a threat. He's got a Lincoln's as well. And that's going to make this team pretty survivable. Blink Arcane on Zeb, looking to counter-initiate with a big Echo Slam, but will Mike Chandota give him the chance? It doesn't look like they will. Roshan has respawned, and they know it. Crystal Maiden scouts it out with the Crystal Nova as Invoker. Ever since like the 10, maybe 15-minute mark in this game, he's been on top of the net worth, and he hasn't let it slip up. Knives Chow, still. Arrow hits a creep. Knives Chow still at 20,800 net worth. It's Orbit in second place, who dominated the mid lane in terms of last hits, but because of that Midas, did actually lose out in net worth and levels. 18.4k, 17.2k on Dave, and 17.1k on Jigglebilly. So 3 of the top 5 net worth still for the Dire, so that's Mike Chandota with a slight advantage there. A much larger advantage in XP, and this game's really come down to the we're too scared to fight you, and then for ZUNI 2.0, we know that the next team fight could be crucial. It's going to give up this third Roche with Aegis with Cheese, but we need to break the high ground because, well, do they? I feel like Weaver will eventually outcarry here if he ever gets some items around 100 minutes. Sorry, Weaver, I had to take the shot. But Mike Chandota, of course, they're probably saying, well, we don't really want to fight because it's 4v5. Humsum's doing an incredible job manning the Visage and the Sand King here. And now I think ZUNI 2.0, I think the next major conflict in this game, and I think teams may be trying to save for buyback, but no one else has managed to do so. Everyone else still pretty far away. Visage can never buy back, apparently. He's disconnected. That's actually true. He can't buy back because they can't control him. Is that true? I actually don't know, and I feel like that's not something I really need to know, but anyway, here we go. Alacrity out on the Knives Chow. Forge Spirits as well, looking to take it down. Those will reduce the armor. Cold Snap is, well, actually, apparently they don't reduce armor on Roshan. Didn't know that. And yeah, they're looking to take this down pretty quickly. I think they are aware. Orbit looks to be moving out, and the creep wave will spot it. All he needs to do is throw a trap. Well, they have the trap, so they obviously know, but Roshan's getting very, very low. Mike Chandota doesn't want to let this go. Will they be able to contest, though? Hook onto Clockwork, hooking over onto the birds, and he's going to be brought down very quickly. Tornado goes out, Roshan goes down. It's going to be... Oh, they jump in. Jigglebilly steals it. What a theft. Pops the BKB as well, and 3 are down suddenly on ZUNI 2.0. Dat play indeed. Micro Killer Dota with the stats, apparently.
Radiant's top tower's taking hits.
Indeed, that play, Jigglebilly. And that's why Jigglebilly has quite a following here on Twitch and in Dota 2, and of course starting from Han, if you do know him. And he looks to be giving it up here quickly. No, leaving very fast. No Chaos Meter that was deafening glass, and now the arrow orbits there as well with the Mel. The damage reduction goes out. Knives Chow will drop, and let's check the buyback. It is available here for the Invoker if he needs to use it, but that very well could have been the game. It's still, of course, pretty close. Gold starts to get a bit of a lead. XP still way out front. Crystal Maiden will buy back now. Veil of Discord picked up on Humsum on the Sand King, so looking to do even more damage as it actually was just delivered. So now Orbit, they still haven't taken the tier 2s in the bottom and top lane, but Starting to backdoor this tower here, getting really low. The attack slow goes out from Crystal Maiden. Jigglebilly finally starts to attack the tower. Still has the Aegis. It's getting low. Glyph of Fortification. Echo Slam by Zeb. A beautiful initiation there. The Chef goes down. 3 down on the deck. Orbit respawning. That's the Aegis used. Jigglebilly actually respawns with the Aegis, and BKB's up, able to take down the Crystal Maiden, who buybacks aplenty. Orbit buys back. Earthshaker buys back. Invoker buys back. And suddenly it's back to 4-on-4 as well. Everyone's still trying to run into the fray. Garage, no. Aghanim's Scepter. And alright, Jigglebilly gonna get stunned up. Sentry drop down as well. Gets out of range of it now, so they can't see him. There's no dust. Should be okay. Will Manta up. Continues to run past that tier 2 tower. And yeah, well, Mike Chandota, they win that fight. They give up the Aegis, but they force out 3 buybacks from the Radiant. I think they give 1 or 2 themselves. Orbit bot back. Just Orbit bot back. Invoker, Crystal Maiden, and Earthshaker all bot back there. As Jigglebilly Tornado after Tornado. Catching it and throws out the stun, looking to still run here. Needs to leap. Will leap. That's going to disjoint, but no. Actually, what got him there? I'm not sure. Oh, the rocket, I think. But hey, look at that. They chase so far off, and they lose the racks to Dave to Orbit. Orbit did buy back there, and they get the mid racks for it. So there's still these tier 2s that are pretty pesky in the way in the bottom and top lanes, as Clockwork gonna hook forward onto Hum Sum on the Sand King. Sand King gonna try to TP out of this. Will be able to do just that. The Frostblade from Hail isn't quick enough. Dave, though, will drop, and Dave, he does have a buyback if they need it. Orbit will BKB up. He's going to go ahead and take down Zeb. He just bought back and not going to be able to do so. Adam and Reeves, big melt hit by Orbit. Was there no Saguchi just coming off a cooldown too close to the TA? Orbit with a huge double kill, possibly a game-winning double kill as well. They will actually back off from this. Dave had buyback, but of course buying back to farm, waste of time, so he's just going to wait to respawn. They've got a lane of racks, and Mike Chandota does look to be closing it out to remain undefeated. It's still not quite yet over. ZUNI 2.0 does have a chance, but let's look at this Weaver. BKB, oh my god, it's like so sad. I'm sorry, Adam. You're a great player. You're better than myself, but Lincoln's BKB and a Mithril Hammer at 50 minutes. He has nothing at level 20. He doesn't even hit for 200 damage yet. And then BKB's online. Knives Chow can only do so much at the moment with this build up to 3.6k. Maybe should he didn't turn that into a sheepstick, by the way. He went Lincoln's, and I know I've touched on that. Boots of Travel now to get that split push going on. The Chaos Meteor drop to just push out the lanes quickly. And he's going to drop the Forge Spirits here and just continue to push the lane. So it may be hard for Mike Chandota to get lane equilibrium, but we've got Orbit split push and top pretty effectively. Daedalus now online, another 1,500 gold for him, as it's 34-27. Checking out the graphs, 5,000 gold lead, getting up to near a 20,000 XP lead, but the gold's still not a big deal, and XP, even though it's a lot, not that big of a deal in this game, as it's again just those next team fights. If ZUNI 2.0 is able to break the base, I mean, they've got every outer tower. They can swing to bot, they can swing to top, maybe get megas off of a team fight, but I don't think that's going to be possible. They have no right-click damage for these structures. Weaver is still lagging too far behind. Invoker barely hitting for over 200 as well. Still reliant on a lot of spells, and we check out the BKB status. Another BKB on Orbit, so that's a 10-second charge. BKB on Jigglebilly, 10-second charge, and a 10-second charge on Dave. With all these BKBs coming out, and Invoker now not useless, but I'm going to say it anyway, effectively useless in these team fights, because these all spells, no right clicks. Weaver has no right clicks, and I think this game is probably won for Mike Chandota, but it's still not going to be easy for him. They need to take careful fights. Here comes a Butterfly actually coming out on Jigglebilly. Jigglebilly now looking to be humongous this game, and Invoker about to be dethroned on top of the net worth, as we've got the fine ladies of Mike Chandota, TA, Marana, and Queen of Pain all catching up to him. And that's going to be used offensively, looking to initiate. And yeah, the rocket hits them, but it doesn't scout them out. Arrow to Search will hit the Ancients, and they might be aware now. Leaping forward is Dave. If they hit the Ancients, they know that someone was there, and they're not going to be able to stop that unless he blinks forward and Sheepsticks. Nope, won't be able to. And there's an F-Blade Dagon right now on a Queen of Pain, able to do a ton of damage. Just basically, yeah, the game was always close. The gold was always close, but all this gold was focused on an Invoker who didn't build anything into right clicks at all. He's not able to carry this game, especially now that BKBs are up. The Weaver is at 3, 7, and 9, and that really, really unfortunate buyback, time-lapse, death, buyback, time-lapse, death. That hurt him so much. He wasn't able to get up damage items before Mike Chandota had the Sheepstick, had the BKBs, had the Mantas, had that Desolator, had the Blink Dagger on Sand King. He died right before they picked up all those items, and then since then, even with the disconnect of the Chef, they've just been able to really snowball out of control. There's someone doing some split push. It's going to be the very annoying Weaver, who finally finishes up a Desolator Sheep. Wow, F-Blade Dagon time-lapse. Doesn't Dagon quick enough. Dave a little slow with the fingers right there, and I think that's going to be Adam escaping. And I'm actually really surprised that there is no Gem of True Sight here for a team with such a big advantage. You might as well pick it up. Adam trying to TP out, will TP out. It's going to be Jigglebilly in trouble, though. The range tower and the mid-rack's being pushed there. And they pick off Jigglebilly, nicely done, and that's going to delay the game out even further and going to make it even harder for Mike Dota. And finally, we've got Humsum. He buys a gem. He's 0, 8, and 17, but I feel like his plays have been pretty instrumental throughout this game, especially since he's been playing the Visage, who's 6, 5, and 11. Picked up most of those kills after the Chef himself disconnected, so the Chef clearly holding the team back. I jest, of course. The Chef, an amazing player. Everyone in this game, an amazing player. Even Adam, who finally has damage, and not even that much, at almost an hour into this game here. 3, 7, and 9. The last hits, just for fun. 331 on Orbit, 318 on Invoker, 308 on Jigglebilly's Pod, we saw it get picked off just recently. Adam at 270 on the Weaver, 241 on Dave, and then 155, the last real farmer there. Garage on the Clockwork, Ghost Scepter, Vlad's Blade Mail. And we'll just bring up the items so we can look at them. Force Staff, Lincoln's, Nesso, Ags, Yules, Blink, Blade Mail, Ghost, Vlad's. I think I said those a couple times, but yeah, those are the items for ZUNI as they look to push up here. This could be their last hurrah. If they lose this fight, they're going to be pretty much out of this game, but we'll see what they can get done. EMP goes off, Dave as well. Alright, Roshan respawns in 5 seconds. That will be the Roche with the cheese, I believe. I thought the last one was, but maybe I was mistaken. It's a long game, it wouldn't surprise me. Well, Roche has respawned. This one has cheese. I don't know if stack counts. I think that's just so you can have double cheese. I don't think that indicates how many Roche has dropped. I think this is the 3rd or 4th Roche, obviously. Doesn't really matter if you keep count after the 3rd. Oh, Dave gonna initiate, gonna go Ghost Scepter form as well. Forced out of a lot of abilities there, throws out the Sheepstick as well. This team fight hasn't started off amazing for Mike Dota, so I'll be surprised if they take it. There goes the Yule's Scepter onto the Pod, who will retreat. Looking for an arrow, and I think maybe Mike Dota, they really need to push this bottom lane or just go top. Try to get another Rax, but they are worried of the split push, and, well, Dave uses a lot of his abilities, uses that 9-second BKB charge. They don't get anything done, but they get the Roshan, and that's Aegis, that's cheese, and this could be the final push. Expected to be in the bot lane. The creep already pushing towards this bottom tier 2 tower, something that's definitely still on the list of an objective to take for Mike Dota, and I think that's what they will go for, as it's 34, 28, 56 minutes into the game. It feels like the longest game of all time. I really feel like I think we have been in this game for like 2 hours. Thanks, Valve, for patching, and it's just hats. Such a disappointment. But hey, eventually we'll get an amazing one. Yules on to the Jigglebilly. Jigglebilly got a leap away. Beautiful leap. That was picturesque right there. Leaping right away. Looks like she was surfing on the edge of that deafening blast. But it's an 8,000 gold advantage, 15,000 XP as Mike Dota, they look to get the split push started in the bottom lane. She's over to Dave. Orbit with the Aegis once again. Looking for an MKB, maybe even a double Daedalus. As Knives Child looking to get the... Whoa, look at that right click. So much damage. Well, it gets him down to half health, actually. Fortify popped out. Large wave here. Echo Slam onto Dave. Dave has cheese. Doesn't want to use it. Probably will use it and blink away. And will actually live. I didn't think he was going to have the chance. That was a nice attempt with the cogs to push by Garage. It wasn't quite quick enough. Dave uses the cheese. That's the Glyph of Fortification used at a tier 2. And now on the mid lane Orbit and Jigglebilly looking to wreak havoc along with the Familiars. Taking down the Forged Spirits pretty quickly. The Chef goes back to stack, apparently. They don't want to use him anymore. Humsum pushing out the wave top. And yeah, let's see top lane. We've got Green in trouble, forcing out another BKB charge. He's got a Butterfly, though. He will have to back. Going to be chased. Dave will pick up the bottom tier 2 tower. So nicely done. 34-28. Mike Dota to take another objective. They get the Roche, and then they clean up that last outer tower. Of course, they've already struck mid. They've got that melee racks down. The range is going to fall quickly. Jigglebilly, the illusions from the Manta attacking creep, still pushing that wave, and Jigglebilly will leap, and he's going to be okay. Another 2,400 gold there. Maybe looking to go for a Satanic off this helm with the Dominator. We will see. Orbit is going MKB, another big right-click item, another plus 81 damage, and with that no uphill miss chance on the TA going to be pretty nice, as they're going to be fighting uphill pretty soon as they look to go into the high ground. The only things left to kill, these tier 3 towers and these racks, looking for the Mega Creep, looking to take the game in 3, and in a big way, taking it 4v5. Although, even as weird as it sounds, I don't know if this disconnect really affected them all that much. As it has been microed very, very well by Humsum, and it looks like maybe someone else on the familiars. That's a lot to do because Sand King has been making some plays. 0, 8, and 17. He hasn't got a lot of kills, but he's done well this game. And a push coming top 4 heroes here for MikeChan Dota, looking to break the base once again. But ZUNI 2.0, they're holding on here. As we take it late, about to be an hour now. Some of the longest games here, maybe the longest series so far in CEVO-Main, at least that I've cast. Definitely the longest one in Dota TV thus far, and that's that tier 3 tower melting away. No glyph of fortification, because remember they used it on the tier 2 tower. Stun off onto Hail. Hail gonna go down, and I think this could be all she wrote for ZUNI 2.0. The base has been broken. Where's the response here from ZUNI? Well, there's a Frostbite. The Rax has dropped, and we've got actually Jigglebilly in the bot lane getting pretty low. But again, starting to push and might even take out that tier 3 tower as they just disrupt them. Orbit off of the BKB, going to get cogsed up as well by Garage. That stun goes through BKB. Hail will actually even live through this. That's the gem. Nice Fisher by Zeb. Echo Stomp, Slam as well onto Dave. Dave going to drop. Knives Chow now dominating. It's a 2-for-1 trade. MikeChan Dota lose 2. Orbit still alive though. Onto. Whoa, look at that crit. Double kill from Orbit. Takes out the Weaver, but here's the Invoker looking to kill. No, well, he's got actually Refraction, good spell. Orbit with a triple kill, dies to the Forged Spirit. Buybacks aplenty here from ZUNI 2.0 as Orbit looks to seal out the game. Meanwhile, Jigglebilly was able to take the tier 3 tower in the bot lane and continues to run away.
Tower's coming apart.
As Weaver has bot back once again, second time in this game. Visage going to be put up in the Yule's Scepter. Zeb with the stomps. Baseball batting away. Orbit going to drop there after dropping the Aegis. The Chef as well. So they lose another lane of racks. The game going to get that much harder, but it's actually Dave and Jigglebilly reconvene in the bot lane looking to get the push started. And if we go over to the buyback graph, we see Invoker bot back, Queen of Pain bot back, Weaver bot back, Clockwork bot back. So 3 buybacks here for ZUNI 2.0 to defend, and they still lose this rack. So the game only getting harder and harder, but they still hold on. They don't want to call that GG, as they are troopers over here on ZUNI 2.0. 14,000 gold advantage now, about a 20k XP advantage. Not that those matter too much anymore, but MikeChan Dota convincingly ahead in the graphs, and obviously of map control. The mid rack's completely gone, melee rack's gone top, and the tier 3 tower has been broken and destroyed in the bottom lane, as now going up to that Dagon level 3 with the F-Blade. Dave going to be able to burst out an insane amount of damage. Who has a BKB on ZUNI 2.0? It's only Adam, and it's actually still a 10-second... Oh, this doesn't show the charge. I wish that showed the charges. That would be really awesome. But it's only a 9-second charge on Weaver. I feel like it should show it. Something Valve. Valve? Looking at you. Actually, I'd rather have heroes. I don't really care. Anyways, where's Terrorblade? Seriously. Potom in trouble. Leaping away. Very slippery hero. Had a BKB if she needed it. There are no sheep sticks. Actually, the sheep stick on Knives Chow. He finishes it up now. 10-4-15. Really good performance on the Invoker. Clearly very good at that hero, but just not enough to win this game. Hooking forward onto Dave. Gonna stun him up, putting him in the cogs. Able to blink out though, and they're not gonna be able to get the kill. Moonlight Shadows from Jigglebilly will facilitate the escape. 37-22, 5-kill advantage. 2 lanes of racks taken as well for MikeChan Dota, and they look for the third. They look to get the Mega Creeps and force out the GG, and if they can't do that, they'll just kill the throne, as it looks like MikeChan Dota will be taking the victory here in Game 3, playing without MikeChan himself, so they are using a substitute. Game 1 was a little rough for MikeChan Dota, allowed ZUNI 2.0 to take it. Game 2, utter domination for MikeChan, and Game 3 here we see them struggling once again, but of course 4v5 starting around the mid-game, which wasn't great. Zeb gonna take an arrow, Jigglebilly wants to go back in, probably will go down. Where's his team? Jigglebilly gonna go down, a beautiful ultimate by Humsum. Is it gonna be enough? And I don't think it will be. Needs to Burrow Strike, but there's the Fisher still being a nuisance. Hail with a nice ultimate, and MikeChan Dota just delaying the game further. Actually, no, it's a distraction. Bot lane, been running interference. Dave blinking back. Orbit BKBing up, looking to go into the fight. Could potentially just take out the building.
The radio
That's going to be the Clockwork dropping down there. That's a Ghost Scepter used. Desolator back from Adam, actually finally pushing out some damage. Able to take out Orbit pretty quickly. Orbit will buy back, going to start the run. The Chef will go down. Meanwhile, top lane, Jigglypuff takes out the range Rack, so it's 2 lanes of Racks completely down. Jigglypuff continues to push, but ZUNI 2.0, they continue to hold on, and Mike Dota, I think they're making it harder for themselves if they continue to split up. Gonna kill one in the base, gonna maybe kill another. Jigglypuff, nicely done. Jigglypuff's pretty strong right now, as I think some more buybacks forced out. Literally every single person in this game has buyback on cooldown except for the Sand King. And alright, going straight for the tier 4s is Jigglypuff down here in the bot lane. We've got Dave on the Queen of Pain still alive. Orbit finally comes back. A huge dire creep wave behind him. The tier 4s now taking the fall. ZUNI 2.0 doesn't look like they will be calling the GG. Mike Dota gonna force it out of him by killing the throne here. At almost 64 minutes, we get into a super late game. Jigglypuff TV, what a carry he was this game. A little reckless, maybe we'll go down again. Orbit buys back, runs here to feed himself. Large creep presence from the dire micro killer, apparently calling the neutral offensive GG from the spectator on his line slots. Jigglypuff will go down, and it's going to be a 2-kill advantage as Mike Dota look to maybe take the game. It's mega creeps. No, not quite. Dave in the bot lane. And nope, not going to catch him, but that Tornado will. The Yule Scepter used here. BKB pop, Dave fighting uphill with the Deathblade tag on. He gets the kill. Hale finally calls the GG. Throne explodes. So, wow, pretty long series here, best of 3, but what a way to kick off the launch. What a way to kick off the launch of CEVO TV here over on twitch.tv/playcevo. If you're watching in game, thank you so much for having already purchased up those tickets for just $1.99 midway through the regular season, and of course a double elimination postseason to happen as well. So we're still pretty early in overall, so make sure to buy out those tickets. $1.99. Of course, check out the stream as well, as CEVO has a new home. It will be twitch.tv/playcevo. Make sure to follow it. We'd love to have you over here. We're going to be doing some giveaways as well, so make sure you're following it to be eligible for that. I'm Helium, as I'll show myself now. I am Helium. You can follow me on Twitter at HeliUmbrella. I'd love to have you follow me there. Make sure to follow at CEVO as well, so you know what, when, why, where, how we are casting, and what games we're casting. It was a fun night here launching this off. I'm going to throw on some music now, and I hope to see you guys back in the future. Monday and Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern are usually when we get started, but Dota 2 going to be either here at PlayCevo or also the secondary channel. That'll be PlayCevo 1, and we look to see you around, of course. Peace out.